Hello, my name is Veronica Guerrero Quan. I'm a licensed therapist with Stanley Psychology, and today I want to define and explain what mindfulness is. Nowadays, everyone throws the word around. I'm very mindful, very demure, everyone talks about what mindfulness is, but sometimes we've got to talk about what mindfulness is because it's talked about so much that it's like, what is it really? What are we talking about here? So, mindfulness, simply defined, is being present, being in the present moment, without judgment and in full acceptance of what is happening in the present moment. This includes what's happening within you, what's happening around you. Mindfulness has made its way into the mental health world for several reasons. One of them is it helps people combat worry, stress, anxiety. It helps with those that have gone through traumatic events and are struggling with flashbacks. It helps, honestly, with a lot of things actually, that I'm, verbalizing this out loud, even with OCD. Why is mindfulness so helpful? It's because it brings us to the present moment. So often we are struggling with focusing on the past, which has already happened, or planning excessively for the future, which is not helpful when it's excessive, right? And so sometimes we get so caught up with what's already happened or what might happen that we lose the present moment. And assuming that you're safe in the present moment, it can be very helpful to anchor yourself there, to notice what is happening around me, what is going on within me. Can I be fully accepting of this moment? Can I fully embrace it? And again, assuming that you're in a safe situation, there is a lot of beauty there. There's a lot of beauty in connecting with those who are physically around you or tuning into what's happening within you. So that is the way I would define mindfulness, put plainly. And the beauty is that you aren't adding to your suffering. And I heard somebody define suffering this way. Suffering is when we multiply our pain by trying to fight against it. Experiencing pain in this life is inevitable. At some points, we will go through painful situations. We will have trouble. But when we try to fight against it, we sometimes harm ourselves more in the process. And of course, this is being very vague, very general. Some situations are very nuanced. So I want to give that disclaimer here. But sometimes I think of I'm a very visual person. So, I picture a dog. Let's say he has a leash that's really tight around him, and it's hurtful. It hurts him, and it's a little uncomfortable. But the more he tries to pull himself out of it and pull and yank, he's having the collar dig into him, and it's causing more and more pain. This is not a perfect analogy, but I want to share it to illustrate that sometimes we are in that position. There are certain circumstances in life that are totally out of our control, that we can't take that metaphoric collar off of us, whatever situation that might be. And the more that we wrestle with it, the more we worry, the more we ruminate, the more we beat ourselves up about not being able to do something about it, we just make ourselves more miserable, and we metaphorically harm ourselves more, or I guess psychologically. It's not metaphorically. We psychologically harm ourselves more by doing that. And so, of course, there is wisdom to determine what is within my control, what is not. The beauty that mindfulness offers is to be in the present moment when we can control the situation, when we can influence it. Be present to that, acknowledge that, and do something with it. When we don't have control over a situation and we can't change it or we can't influence it to the degree we'd like to, mindfulness invites us to acknowledge that and accept that limitation, and to not fight against it and not harm ourselves by trying to, right? So that is the way I will define mindfulness for today. There are exercises that can be helpful to try to practice this in a practical sense in your day-to-day life. So I will provide a video on that, on how to practice mindfulness. I'll catch you in the next video. Talk soon.